Wow, that was smart. That was smart.
Yeah, this should be on GTV. It's loud. Okay, there we go. So everyone should be able to hear me now. So let me get the link for this.
Freedom! Freedom!
We got a black man in office, black man in office,
Because I can't share the link, there ain't
man
no point
in
of doing this.
office.
I could have did this where the heck I was. All right, so let me do it this way. Okay. Yay! We made the link available. All right, guys, welcome to GTV. Finally, I am Gman, your host, and today we're going to be talking about breaking Matt Dillahunty and what it means to break Matt Dillahunty. And why a lot of you disagree with me, why some of you people think I'm obsessed with the man, and I'm obsessed with debating him, and I need to debate him. I can't live without him. I love the man and all this other nonsense. You can come in here and we can talk about this. The link is available for all of you to. No, there's not kids next to me. I'm actually in an internet cafe. That's where I'm at.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say. So here's what happened. I clicked over, and I accidentally hit in stream. That's what happened. Yeah, if you're wondering why it just ended and it started again, and it has a weird title, I accidentally hit in stream because it's right next to the other screen. So yeah. Yes, it did. It did play. It's a black man in office. Yes, thank you. And I see that people have found a way to get around the fucking increase that I put on there. Yeah. So let me. You know what? While people figure out what happened, I'm going to replay the intro just because.
The announcement is this: I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday, not today, but next Friday, and that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank
you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
Gman. Gman.
You know you're breaking the law right now. I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
I am not playing, Dragnet.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big can this guy be?
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big can this guy be?
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries.
Okay, so let's see if I can not be fucking stupid this time and accidentally hit the in-stream button. All right. I've not had coffee, so that probably has a lot to do with it. So while people figure, I don't even know what happened to the other stream. Like it did something. It got edited. So, all right, we're back.
Okay. Okay, this should be on GTV. It's loud. Okay, there we go. So everyone should be able to hear me now. So let me get the link for this. Because if I can't share the link, there ain't no point of doing this. I could have did this where the heck I was. All right, so let me do it this way. Okay. Yay! We made the link available. All right, guys, welcome to GTV, finally. I am Gman, your host, and today we're going to be talking about breaking Matt Dillahunty and what it means to break Matt Dillahunty, and why a lot of you disagree with me. Why some of you people are saying I'm obsessed with the man, and I'm obsessed with debating him, and I need to debate him. I can't live without him. I love the man and all this other nonsense. You can come in here, we can talk about all of you too.
Freedom.
No, there's not kids next to me. I'm
God
actually in
cut
an
my
internet
last
cafe.
live stream. You're
That's where
absolutely right.
I'm in an internet cafe doing this. All right. There are not kids near me. I am in an internet cafe. And I have to repeat that several times because atheists are a little slow. And, you know, getting them to understand some things is kind of difficult sometimes. Yeah. So if you want to come in here and discuss with me the breaking of Matt Dillahunty and you have some things that you wish to say about this, this is the time to do it. Not when, you know, you're to be a keyboard hero and be safe in the live chat and say whatever you want. You can actually say what you need to say in here, and we can talk about it.
Do we have to pay access fees to the internet cafe?
We'll see who's obsessed with who. All right. Last time I checked, they do a show every week, hoping and wishing Christians call in so that they can try to make fools of us when we call in. All right. So I'm going to kill my camera.
I did hear a smoke alarm too.
Because I don't like the way it looks. And I'm going to wait for somebody to come in here. But until you guys do, I do want to talk about positive slavery for a moment, because a lot of atheists are still shocked when I talk about this.
Positive slavery.
A lot of atheists, matter of fact, let me cut my camera on. I don't want to keep it off. A lot of atheists are shocked when I talk about slavery, where it benefits the slave, it benefits the owner, and it benefits the society that they're actually living in. A lot of atheists are shocked when they hear me say things like that, because
I wonder how economists feel about that.
And I talked about how atheists themselves support a form of slavery, or different variations of slavery via the prison system, via indentured servitude and things like that. They do it every day without even thinking about it. And yet they claim that owning another human being is immoral without actually taking the time out to think about it. Yes, there are instances.
No, Antonio does not broadcast from train stations.
Transatlantic slave trade is proof of that.
He broadcasts from libraries.
You know, when they were stealing people from other countries and bringing them here and forcing them to work for the rest of their lives.
Chattel.
You know what I mean? They went to sleep when their master told them to. They ate when their master told them to do. Told them to. They did all of these things when their master told them to do these things. So then they beat them to try to break them to change their names. And they're trying to equate that as being the same thing as what we see in the Bible. And it's not. It's not. So I believe that if I presented my arguments,
I don't think that's the point of contention.
Would be confused about how to deal with somebody like me, because I don't know if atheists are aware of this, but we're kind of taught about this as we're little children. I grew up in a household, they talked about this all.
So for those of you who don't know, let me get you caught up on something real quick. When Gman talks about his upbringing, what he was taught, keep in mind that he was taught by somebody, a man in particular, his stepdaddy, who was an adherent to the Nation of Islam. Now, I don't have to tell all of you people kind of how skewed your history lessons may be if you were raised by somebody who is a staunch advocate of the Nation of Islam. Could you imagine, especially when it comes to slavery, how fucked up your, or potentially, I'll say potentially fucked up your perspective may be? Just, like, yeah, feel free to get that screenshot. But it's like, he can't on the one hand bemoan his stepfather, because he's done that before, like, how he didn't, he was resistant to what he was taught, and then defer to it at the same time. That either you took what you felt was the best from him, which is fair, or he was just ass, or you just accepted everything. But a history lesson from somebody in Nation of Islam, I don't know about that one, Chief.
The time. So I'm not understanding how you guys figure I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm supposed to bow the knee to Matt like he actually knows what he's talking about. No, don't work that way. If you think you know so much about the topic, come in here and prove it. Because I meant what I said when I said no atheist. No atheist on the planet. On the planet. On the planet. On the globe.
In the internet cafe.
Can prove that positive slavery is sin. Nor is anybody going to collect.
That's not what, like, we don't believe in sin, so you trying to set up this standard as if someone's supposed to meet it is ridiculous. If I don't agree with the concept of sin, and I don't agree with your made up fucking like label of positive slavery, why am I trying to debate you on something you literally contrived? That's ridiculous, G-Man. You should feel ashamed to be this stupid.
The money that I offered, the $300, to somebody who can show me where Matt Dillahunty has refuted.
Oh, that's where I was going with this. Okay, thank you for reminding me. So here's what's strange, and I was bringing up how much I pay in rent in comparison to something. I don't think that the rent in Jersey City is that expensive, especially the places that he lives. It doesn't look that expensive. I can go double check with somebody who lives in that area how much rent is. This is the same guy who offered more money than that, because this $300 is a separate amount for like to debunk him. He's offering Matt Dillahunty, and he's done this in the past, $2,000 to debate him. Recently, he has mentioned it again. $2,000. Right? How are you having issues with homelessness, but you have money to debate somebody? Does that make any sense to anybody? Does that tell you that this person has their priorities in order? You don't have a place to stay. You can't even stream from your residence, but you have money to debate somebody? Why in the hell would I want to deal with somebody who has their priorities all fucked up like that? Like that, it makes no sense to me. I'm starving. I can barely, I'm living hand to mouth, barely make ends meet, but I'm going to save up a few $1,000s to get this car. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Why? Like, even if Matt were to take that money, I'm pretty sure he'd feel bad, because then this fucker would be homeless. He wouldn't have any money to do anything else. He has to use an internet cafe now. Just saying. Like, it's amazing. This is the same guy who wants to lead you, some of y'all, not everybody. He wants to lead some of you to think that he is normal, that he thinks like everybody else. Some of us who have families, some of us who have common sense, I don't know that there's a few things in life that I need. Food, shelter. We could stop there. Food and shelter are pretty important. If anything else, if you have nothing else in life, food and shelter, at least you can survive. At least you can survive. He doesn't even have one of those. But he does have the will to have a debate. if he can win a debate on the internet against somebody and pay them, whether his interlocutor wins or not, his interlocutor now has a pretty good chunk of money and go do with whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. But not food, not shelter. Debate. Because debate is life. Yes, $2,000 will get you a lot of cheddar biscuits.
Me once. That's Christians included. Anybody. Any Christian, any atheist, any agnostic, any Satanist, any Luciferian, any Muslim, even Hebrew Israelite, show me where he's refuted me. It's never happened. I would be intimidated too if I called the show as many times as I did and he hasn't refuted me once. Not once. And this challenge has been going on for 2-3 years now. And you still haven't shown me how he's refuted me. All right. So let's go back out there and let's see who's watching. Maybe Cable Eastwood is still the only person watching. And also I'm willing to talk about the Dragnut issue too, because I believe that he's been bought. I believe that Dragnut's been bought with a price.
Oh.
Dragnet has been given silence money to stop talking about Rev and to stop talking about Shanny.
Is that so?
Because he certainly don't do it no more. I wonder why. Oh, really? He decided to become a Dragoon and a patron, and they decided to support him. So once you support him, he's not going to say anything. It's like he doesn't make any videos about Spackle or make fun about Spackle. He doesn't make fun and poke fun about Fiona.
I was wrong. I actually have to make this video and apologize to Shanny. Shanny made a YouTube video on her channel. It's called Addressing Gman. Check it out if you guys get an opportunity. And if you missed what I said earlier about Shanny, I made a video called regarding the Dragnet has been bought. That's the video that I made. The video was called, Dragnet has been bought. All right. I deleted that video, but in that video I said that, Shanny and Rev paid Dragnet not to make YouTube videos about them. Now, normally when I make a video about Shanny, I have to apologize for the darkness and everything, guys, but I am walking outside at night. Normally when I make a video response to Shanny, or I try to correct Shanny or rebuke Shanny, Shanny's usually smoking weed, cussing everybody out, calling me all kinds of names and everything else in the book. And no one wants to listen to a spirit like that. That's the way that she usually goes about responding, but I got to give her credit this time. Shanny came in a spirit of, I guess for her, a spirit of meekness. She was definitely more meek than normal, more humble than normal, and she was calm. The Bible says that a gentle answer turns away wrath.
Care. Keep going. Don't care.
And she chose the right way to do this, and that's to be calm. She believed that I was wrong, and she pointed out the reasons why she believed that I was wrong about it. So I give her some brownie points for that. Because like I said, normally when Shanny and I have a disagreement, it's usually a yelling match and, and things are getting thrown at each other and things like that and whatnot. I give her some brownie.
Freedom.
G-Man needs to start saving newspaper to put in his clothes to stay warm and not cry about being cold again.
Don't worry, he'll get some tin cans again with isopropyl alcohol. He'll light that on fire. So, thank you for taking my bribe. Not to talk smack about. Yeah, exactly. I'm taking bribes, folks. $50. So I don't even have to address because Shanny addressed it, and now he has to correct himself. I don't even have to do anything. All I have to do is play their videos because he starts making up shit. She starts making up shit. She offers a correction in the shit that she's making up, which actually resembles the truth. And guess what? He gets to take that L.
8 points for that. Shanny said that I missed what she said in context. She said that if God ever asked her to get back into an abusive relationship, she would give him 2 middle fingers. Now, I still disagree with a thinking like that, but I missed the context in which she said it. If I would have got the context in which she would have said that, I probably just would have prayed for her and then not made a public YouTube video talking about it. Because when I heard her say it, I thought she just meant in general, like nobody's going to tell her what to do. That's what I thought.
G-Man never misses context, ever.
I try to be fair on here, and this video is proof that I can take correction. So I definitely owe Shani an apology for that, for jumping the gun and making a video too fast without really hearing and listening to what she had to say. I apologize about the lighting, guys. Again, I'm outside.
Nobody cares.
Going for a walk. Okay, so also, apparently my other information was incorrect about Dragnet being bought.
What? You don't say.
I said that because Dragnet wasn't making any YouTube videos about Shani. You know, since I knew that Shani and Rev were Patreons or supporters, financial supporters of her channel, I said that's the reason why Dragnet hasn't made a YouTube video about her. So apparently, not only do I owe Shani an apology, but I owe Dragnet an apology.
Really?
So I'm going to apologize to Shani for accusing her wrongfully for buying off Drag to keep his mouth shut.
Don't work that way.
It was not a Christian or a godly thing for me to do.
Nope.
And I apologize about that. Now, mind you ain't going to find a lot of videos on YouTube with me apologizing to Shani because most of the time Shani's wrong. But not in this instance.
You gotta add these caveats in.
If we was keeping wins and losses, I guess this would be Shani's first one.
Even when he's apologizing, it's always a competition. Y'all notice that? He can't just say, look, I was wrong about it. It is what it is. You know, I recant. He can never leave it there. It's always a competition. It's always, well, I was wrong, but I'm usually, like, there's no need for all this childish shit. I knew he was wrong. He'd been wrong. He's always wrong. But this is ridiculous. But I'm going to let it play a little bit more just to put some salt on this wound.
Recall ever apologizing to Shani about being wrong on something like that.
Dead wrong.
I don't think I have. Anyway. But again, I like the spirit that she came at me. She came at me with a gentle,
nobody cares.
And all that stuff and whatnot. I appreciate the fact that she was calm and.
Okay, nobody cares. All right, that's enough of that shit. Okay, so anyway, you're wrong.
Or anybody like that. Of course he isn't going to do that because they all think alike. They all say the same things.
See, this is what's funny about this. I've been calling Gman out for just lying his ass off all the time. This is the one cool time where I get to show people in real time, and even Gman himself, he acknowledges that he just makes shit up. Sorry, you had no evidence for that. You tried. You attempted. But you know the history between all of us here. So even if this was your first encounter with me and Shani, anybody else, you know, I give you benefit of the doubt, but you know better. You know better. G-Man, you made shit up. Just like you made up the shit about me hacking your phone and teleporting into a fuck. Yes, folks. Yes, he literally deduced that I teleported into a hotel room to hack his phone and teleport it back down. Somehow, I am able to stay in his presence long enough to help him search for his own phone and then literally instant transmission Dragon Ball Z style teleport into another room upstairs in a hotel and also hack a phone, mind you, and then teleport back down before he realized it. But then while I was up there, hand the phone off to somebody else who actually gave him the phone. Somehow I'm able to do all that. I'm also able to, this is stuff that he believes now. He actually believes this. He actually believes this shit. Go ask him. Go ask him. Even if you see on video that I am downstairs with him. You can see me next to him on the Talking Shit Tuesday stream on the New York trip that I keep mentioning. You can literally see me next to him. There were 3 people next to him. I was one of them. MP was one of them. So, he also believes that I have literal mind control over people. We'll talk about that one another time. We'll talk about that. But these are things that G-Man literally believes. So, excuse me, but when he starts saying stuff about me and my motivations and the stuff that I can do, just keep in mind these are some of the things that he actually adheres to. And then Vecco will go and agree with him. Vecco don't know no better. He's just there to suck G-Man's dick. He doesn't know any better. It's okay. I understand. I will teach you instant transmission. Maybe one day.
Drag believes what Shani and Rev believes. But when you have one mind, there's nothing to disagree with. And Dragnet was always taught as a young Dragnet that when you grow up, the way you change people's minds is by lying and saying that people are not relevant and then talking about them all the time.
That's exactly what I was taught.
So I noticed that nobody is clicking on that link to come in here to talk to me about this topic. I don't even got a Bible in front of me. That is how confident I'm going to destroy you guys if you come in here saying that what God condones is immoral. That takes a lot of confidence for me to make a conscious decision, not even to bring the Bible with me.
He probably forgot it, honestly.
It takes a lot of confidence to do something like that. Not arrogance, not ignorance, or anything like that.
Nope.
Not being proudful or anything like that. It takes a lot of confidence to do something like that.
I forget stuff when I leave the house all the time.
And I know atheists are watching this, and I know some of them have been very opinionated in my live chats regarding Matt Dillahunty and his brokenness. Because trust me, he's broken.
He is broken.
He's very broken.
He's half the man he used to be.
You want to know why? Because I don't know if you guys ever saw that video that I did in Irvington, New Jersey, a long time ago. I had the Hebrew Israelites. I ran them out of, or they got in their cars and they drove away. I literally had to say, Israel and not in Christ, don't run. I'm not going to bite. That's what Matt's doing right now. If I went to Texas tomorrow and I went to the Atheist Experience headquarters and I stayed, or I went there next Sunday or something like that, and I saw them, I guarantee you they called the police on me. I guarantee it.
I can actually guarantee that would happen too. So let's see how much I want to say. Police can be called on you quite quickly if you think that you're going to skulk around the Atheist Experience. And this is for anybody. If you think that you're going to skulk around the headquarters when there's nobody there, you will have the police called on you. I'm not going to say how. I'm not going to say when. It will definitely happen. I can guarantee it will happen. I'll say that. So I go for it, Gman. I would love to see a police report later pull that you were arrested for doing that, for trespassing.
They wouldn't be ready to try to correct me about anything.
Or you could, just
I know what I'm talking about. You guys can say I'm dumb and stupid all you want, but I know what I'm talking about. The link is available, guys. I mean, we would all love to see Matt Dillahunty come here, but come on now, let's be real. He ain't coming in.
Yeah, all of this was triggered because he finally watched the episode
He's got to get
of
ready to be
AXP
rude
that I
to
was
people,
on. That's what this is about.
And make stuff up and force you to believe.
That's why we had that hangout the other day, because he
and
wants
then if
to
you
be
don't
on.
like it, he hangs the phone up on you. That's what he's getting ready to do. They call it the Atheist Experience. I called that show 4 or 5 times already. Might call it 6th time. Who knows? Talk about the slavery issue again.
And you will not be.
I think I gotta wait for his boss to actually be on there when I call in. Because Matt's probably gonna wait for him the last caller, only make sure there's only like about 30 seconds to talk, so he can be justified in hanging the phone up on me. And I wish people like Matt Slick and Side 10 Bruticate would boycott his behind and decide they don't want to debate him anymore because of his behavior. I'm really sick and tired of hearing people talk about Christian behavior on here and nobody's talking about atheist behavior on here. Because trust me, that's gonna change. You're gonna hear all about their behavior on here.
It's gonna change, folks. He's gonna change it. He's tired of hearing about bad behavior.
And there's the issue of Tom Rabbit and his channel where he was talking about moralizing Mondays or something like that. I wonder how that went. How does that go? That's why I want the Atheist Experience. That's the last of the Mohicans. And when Dragnet became a guest on there, that was the beginning of the...
There you go. For all of you who said this is about me being on AXP, there's it right there. There you go. He's finally getting to it. It took 3 episodes. It took 3 episodes, folks, for him to finally just come out and be like, you know what? That's what it was. That's what triggered all of this stuff. So the fuck what? Yes, there's beep 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 in the back, but that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Like, so what? Like, I went on, I had a good time. I'll be on later. So, like, who cares? Right? Is it really that important? Is it really that important to you, Gman, that I was on that damn show? So what? So what? Right? You know what I had less fun at AXP than I did when we went out the night prior and we had Italian food and we went to Esther's Follies. That's what I like. I like that way more than AXP. Just so you can understand how I feel about that. like I had like Matt took me and the wife out to this show. They had magic, they had skits, and it was fun. And they had alcohol. It's a fun time. I like that. That's what I like doing. I like hanging out with people. But his whole obsession is just me being on that damn show for an hour and a half. Really? Oh, the Atheist and Christian Book Club. Later this year, Thallow Blue. Later this year. But it's like, come on, man. It's sad. That's so sad. You almost feel sorry for him.
But I'm telling you, they can't claim they got this, that they only allow people on there who are blameless and all that other stuff and whatnot. Matt Dillahunty doesn't have a clue who he let on here. I'm going to make sure everybody knows, though. That's for sure.
Tell him. Sing it to the mountain.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here.
Matt understands.
There's a link there again for like the 5th time, guys, if you want to come in here. So tell me something, atheist. Let's get you guys talking about something here. You guys got a problem with that passage in the scripture where it talks about if you beat your slave, as long you can beat your slave as long as they don't die. You believe that that's immoral for a law like that to exist in the Bible?
Yeah.
I would like for you to come in here and tell me why that's immoral. Why is it immoral? If you guys are anywhere near as smart as you guys claim you are, this should be easy. Gman doesn't understand why beating your slave, at least if he doesn't die, then.
So I'm curious about something. I don't know what he's playing with, but it's annoying as hell. He said he'll be a slave as long as you pay him. So hypothetically, if I pay him to be my slave and I beat him, he's going to be cool with that? How many of y'all think that's the case? If I paid Gman to be my slave, because you pay slaves evidently, and I beat him every day within an inch of his life, you think he'd be okay with that? I don't think so. I'm just going to throw it. I don't think he'd be okay with that.
Then it's okay to do it. How can he believe that? I'm so confident about this topic, I even offered you guys to open up a room. Nobody offered up a room and nobody sent me a link.
I don't know where this announcement was made, but I don't
How many of you believe Matt Dillahunty was going to win that debate? You guys aren't even confident. What makes you think he's confident he's going to win?
He's so lonely. This is sad. So sad.
But anyway, so since you atheists ain't got nothing to say about that, I'll just say this. There is nothing immoral about it if you're reading what it says in the scripture in context. All you got to do is see when I called the atheist experience twice. You see, you can't just beat your slave for no any old reason. That's a transatlantic slave trade. The Jews was under something called the Mosaic Law. And they had very specific laws about how to treat the people that was in Israel and the people that was outside of Israel.
Because there's no
and whatever claim that you're
other
making
than that
has to be consistent with the Mosaic Law. And I mean all of it, all 613 commandments. It has to be consistent. And as Matt Dillahunty and Aaron Ra and Seth Andrews and a lot of these leaders that you guys have misrepresent what the law says, I don't know. You guys don't know what you're talking about. You can't give me a reason as an atheist why that is wrong.
As an atheist.
I'm just curious. How do atheists feel about somebody taking a club and beating a pig to death before it's slaughtered and is used for food? I'm just curious how you guys think about that. What do you guys think about like chickens being put in all these unsanitary conditions?
I would rather the slaughtering of the animal be as painless as possible. That's just me personally. But at the end of the day, the animal is going to be killed and consumed. So not the biggest issue. But then again, I am like, you can talk about whether it's foie gras. I think it's called foie gras. Whether that's ethical or not. We could have a discussion. They don't have personhood, so we have to try and extend our concept of morality onto animals, right? Because we don't typically do that. if you think of I just saw something. So you look at ducks. Ducks routinely rape one another. What we would consider rape, that's how they mate. There's actually a weird, I should say, contraption. Their reproductive system is such a strange assortment of an extendo dick with a trapdoor maze vagina, so that the female can actually prevent certain males from impregnating her. Like that's some weird evolutionary biology shit. But it's because they have a kind of a bad habit of just going at it. But they're animals, right? They don't really have the same type of moral qualms as we do. So if we're going to talk about the morality in the animal kingdom, and it goes based on this: can this animal benefit us? If you really think about it, we extend rights for animal abuse to animals that we can domesticate. Well, that's not fair. There's plenty of other animals that like lions and stuff like that you don't have those type of laws to. You can go out and hunt them and kill them, but they don't have the protection of domesticated cats and dogs. Like, you can make all types of arguments, but that's not really what G-Man wants to discuss, because those arguments can be interesting and compelling. I'll fully admit, even though I'm not a huge fan of some of them, do I think you should just be able to beat your dog to death because you want to? No, I don't really think so. I think if you take the animal and that animal is a ward of yours, then you are to care for it. But if you're talking about something I'm going to consume, it's gonna die one way or another, right? If you're just some sick and sadistic fuck and you like getting off on it, then you should probably get some help, right? But I would ideally want painless death. And from what I understand, they have some kind of air gun to just go on the back of the skull. They don't even feel it, so preferably.
I'm sure they want to live and they don't want to be eaten or anything like that, because they can all be vegetarian. They put all these chickens in this hen house in these very inhumane environments.
How do you know about those inhumane environments?
Well, how do you feel about that?
Inhumane
those chickens'
animals.
throats being cut so they can bleed and suffer before they actually are used for food. How many of you eat halal food? Ooh,
I have.
Did you know that meat is that those animals are strangled before you can actually eat them?
Isn't that a religious
Like,
belief?
you guys talk about this topic like y'all know what y'all talking about.
It's a religious thing.
Let's talk about it. And let's hear universally why it's immoral. Because it was you that accused us of not talking about this topic. The problem passages that are in scripture. And now that we're talking about them, I see you guys ain't got a lot to say no more. And don't tell me I put the link out there, because the link is there for you guys to come in here.
I'm not sure how
William Lane Craig is not
killed.
broken. Kent Hovind is not broken.
What does that have to do with atheism? Good question.
Ken Ham is not broken. Matt Slick is not broken. I'm not broken. Beckel's not broken.
I beg to differ.
Matt Dillahunty is. Thank you, Steve Bowden, for that. Thank you. I appreciate the thumbs up.
Steve Bowden is delightful.
Ingrid Roach says, can the slave beat the owner and be fine? And be fine if the owner doesn't die in 2 days. Well, Ingrid Roach, let's come in here and talk about that. Because I don't think you understand the situation for something like that to even come up. No, the slave can't do that. But one of the things that I'm pretty sure is, if you have a slave that's an Israelite and you have a owner that's an Israelite, and it's an indentured servitude situation, if the slave catches his master in the act of adultery, what does the law say? Take him outside the city and you stone him. But you're still a citizen. And they're still obligated to keep the Mosaic law.
I think that's kind of what's in contention here, whether or not those laws are actually moral.
I think I was right what I said earlier. As a matter of fact,
Conversation that can happen. Not all laws are moral.
A lot of you just like to come to these channels, leave a bunch of negative comments, and you have no substance behind it. You have no substance behind it whatsoever. None. You have no substance behind it whatsoever. You say that I'm desperate to debate Matt, and you say you can prove it. I do a show, nobody comes in here. You say that slavery in the Bible is immoral, you don't click the link, and you can't come in here to prove it. You say that...
I'm not really surprised people aren't clicking the link. As much as he's talked about pretty much censoring people for literally anything, I'm not surprised people won't come in. It's not a huge guess on my part, just given his past history. Because you notice when he comes in, and if I open up a hangout and I say, okay, Gman, let's come in and talk, even if people are yelling at me and cussing at me, I don't like censor them. Say what you're gonna say. Doesn't matter. But this guy is sensitive, incredibly sensitive. So why would somebody want to put up with that? You know, that's my thing. Like, if you're gonna be just as recalcitrant as you are, as ignorant as you are, as loud and boastful and arrogant, all the wonderful, labels we all throw out, then why can't somebody do that to you? But it's always, and someone said this before, it's a double standard. It's always everything with G-Man is a double standard. Everything with him is a double standard. Everything.
That G-Man's an idiot and doesn't have a GED education. You can't come in the room and prove it. No, I'm right about what I say about you guys coming to people's channels, trying to discourage them, trying to get them to feel down about themselves so they can quit YouTube. That's all you guys want to do. You guys ain't got nothing to say about this. So Matt Dillahunty is a pathetic leader, in my opinion. And the reason why I call him a pathetic leader is because this man tells you to donate your hard-earned money to his Patreon page. As a matter of fact, let's find it here real quick.
It's not about views, folks. It's not about money. It's not about the subscribers. Let's talk about Matt Dillahunty's Patreon here for a second. All right?
Now that we know that these cowards have been exposed, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get to Matt Dillahunty's Patreon page. I'm going to show you what kind of an individual you guys follow. I told you, True Paris isn't going to be the only person that's going to be exposing Matt Dillahunty anymore. I'm going to be the one doing it now too.
Was True doing it? I must have missed that. When did that happen?
So let me screen share this here so you guys can actually see this here.
This is just sad. This is sad.
So I know a lot of you are looking at this. And this is the great Matt Dillahunty right here. 127,000 subscribers, 242 videos. He's well known on YouTube because of his, his time on the atheist experience. Let's click on this real quick here. Oh, that's right. Cool. All right, let's go to his videos here.
Wow.
Now let's take a look at how some of his videos have done.
It's a little jealousy.
Right? Now, he has a Patreon project in which he teaches you people how to go about debating. And how he goes about, debunking us Christians and everything. And as you can see, he is getting kind of older now. So, it's becoming more of a urgent situation if I'm ever going to debate this guy. So anyway, I'm going to show you something here. What's the best video?
I think you and him are near an age.
59,000 for him to talk about atheist debates. What should I know about the Bible? Right?
I thought we were supposed to be looking at Patreon.
I want to find my video. Hey, he's got 112,000 here. Awesome.
This is sad.
Let's keep going down here. 30,000 here.
Okay.
I know he hasn't made that many videos since he's responded to me.
Where's my video?
Where is it?
I want to find my
about
video.
That pink he puts on his goatee if I ever get to meet him.
I think he lost a debate or something, or lost a bet. I forgot what it was.
Where is it? He's got 66,000 on this video. Talking about humanism in this video. Hold on.
Why is this important?
Come on, this can't be that far. This is a debate with Matt Slick. Matt Slick, 40,000 views debating Matt Slick on his channel. And with R Raw, the one you guys claim is the superstar, 38,000 views on that video with both of them in it.
Matt has a nice kitchen, by the way. I'm kind of jealous of the little island he has over there. It's kind of like the one at my in-laws' house, except it doesn't have a sink or anything. It's just, just like.
All right, I'm gonna have to take time out to look for it. I should have did this before I started this show.
Oh, he told me about the Anthony.
Here we go. One. Slavery and bad apologetics. I wonder, who is he talking about in this video? Let's make sure we don't run into any ads, and let's take a look at who he's talking about in this video here.
Pure
let's do this here.
Salt.
Oh, we gotta stop screen sharing.
He's butthurt. I pointed out his irrelevance in that comment the other day, and I pointed out his sub count compared. Oh, that's why he's T Diesel. You started this. You did this, T Diesel. Okay, that's why. Because he seems really obsessed with these views now.
First.
But he's not obsessed. He's not.
So just give me a second here, guys, because I got to be careful with the ads and everything. I'm going to mute for a moment.
It's not about the views. Not at all. It's not about subs. Not about comments. It's about the mission. It's about the mission.
Gman, this is what I keep hearing. Nobody's interested in seeing this debate. Everybody keeps talking about how I'm a joke and all this other stuff and whatnot, right?
All true statements. He still
I
doesn't
hope you guys
understand
are paying
hyperbole.
attention here because, like I said, it's easy for somebody to get in their house with their free time and lie to all of you out there that are atheists. It's easy to do that, but documentation beats conversation at the end of the day. And one of the most popular videos on his YouTube channel is him talking about me. Not R. Raw, not Christina Rad, not Jacqueline Glenn and these other people and whatnot.
These other people and whatnot.
On the topic of slavery. I know you people want to see that. So you can lie to yourselves, oh, Gman's desperate. Nobody wants to see this. You're a joke. Well, for those of you who are new, you're about to be treated to something here. Let's do a quick screen share here. I don't like liars, man, and I certainly don't like it when...
That's not like yourself.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did I unmute? Okay, cool. All right, let's screen share.
170K.
There's a couple of things about Zoom I'm not that crazy about. Okay. So anyway, let's play the video here.
The Atheist Debates Patreon project presents slavery and bad apologetics. So today I'd like to do something a little bit different for this Patreon project, since I'm all about debates, and this is all about teaching people how to have debates and do a better job of addressing.
Okay. So the very first thing that I want to say about this is that Matt Dillahunty is not all about debates. Matt Dillahunty, when it comes to Gman. Now, okay, let me correct myself here. I'm going to go here to make sure that you guys can hear it. It's no problem. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I agree with Matt Dillahunty. He's all about debates with Matt Slick, Scientific Brudicate. He's all about debates with Dustin Seegers. I think he had a debate with.
Just let me point out something real quick, folks. I'm looking through his other atheist debates, and the one that he picked that's all about him, because it's obviously all about him, that's not even the highest one. Not even close, because I found one where he's talking about hell that far exceeds. So just to give you an idea, the one that he's pointing at now, because it is one of the highest one out there. It's like, okay, G-Man, let's compare something. The one that you're looking at here is almost 100. You might as well just say 180,000. There's one that's 360,000 where he's a discussion about hell. There's a Matt Slick one that's about the same as the one that you're reviewing now. So by your logic, he should be more so talking about hell than you. So, like, if we're going to play the numbers game, G-Man, I'll pick another one. 287,000 atheist debate, but that's the Old Testament. Again, far exceeds the one where he's supposedly talking about you. I'll pick another one, G-Man. 405,000 views. Atheist debates, the Bible doesn't say that. I can keep doing this. Matt Dillahunty, Unholy Trinity Down Under. Let's see, what is this? Why Won't You Love Me version 1. Again, I can keep doing this. I can keep doing it. And there's another. There's one. Yep. There's the. Okay. Now I'm seeing the one. So Gman, you literally passed about 4 videos that far exceed the one that you're doing now. So if you want to make the argument that he should go for what gives him the most views, then there's several others that far outweigh yours that he should probably work on. So there we go. Just saying, folks. Just a little fact check for those of you who didn't see him skip over all those other ones.
With Justin Peterson or whatever that guy name is. I know he's a Calvinist. He and I apologize if I got your name wrong. Forgive me. He went on the Bible Thumping Witness YouTube channel and debated Matt Slick on his channel about the Dillahunty Dodge. Yeah, he's all about debating people that he know he can go toe to toe with only on certain topics, because a wise man picks his battles. But when it comes to this topic right here, this is a little bit out of his pay grade.
Actually, look, yep, the one I just mentioned is over on the side.
The arguments as they presented, I thought I'd engage in a debate of sorts. Whether or not I do.
If you listen to Dragnet, this never happened. You know what I mean? This never happened. And this is only one of a bunch of examples I can show you.
This again is going to depend on.
He doesn't watch my channel, by the way.
I don't want to get into the mud and start having Twitter wars or YouTube wars or anything else. But there's an individual on YouTube who seems desperate to debate me. And I'm not.
Not only am I not desperate to debate.
So thank you. So Matt repeated exactly what I said earlier, that this is desperation. Thank you, Matt, for vindicating me. Thank you. That's exactly what this is. It's desperation at its finest. It is desperation. I said it, Matt said it, and you can keep denying it, but this is desperation. It is absolutely desperation. You had a whole hangout with me just to try and convince me to go and talk to Matt just so you could debate him. That's desperation. Yes, it is. Because you don't reach out to me for shit else. No, you don't, G-Man. You want that bad because you don't know what else to do. Matt's ignoring you. And I got Matt's number. We hang out, chat every so often. But I'm supposed to do you a solid and convince Matt that no, Matt, he's not desperate. No. You're wrong, Matt. He is an upright, upstanding citizen, all right? He is not disrespectful and fucking ignorant at all, Matt. You are wrong. You, who had your own experience with him way before you even heard my opinion about him, you are wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Debate him. I just want to annihilate this argument. Even if we have a bagel and talk one-on-one off camera, I just want to destroy this topic.
He would have to pay for the bagel. I want to destroy
it. I want to annihilate it. I want to bury it alive. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. I apologize. I got to keep doing this, but this is the only way I can know. Okay, so here we go.
Actually going to be debating this person, at least not in an normal sense. But they, over the course of like a week or so, they produced 10 different videos with my name in the title, calling me out. And someone mentioned that this individual, Gman is his name, seems to be viewing debates and this entire discussion about theism versus atheism as if it were a world wrestling match of some sort. I mean,
No, what it means is that
yep.
I'm a very charismatic person online.
Again, did I not, in my last video, folks, did I not say that? It's all competition. It's all the WWE shit. Did I not say that? Again, this is back. Matt made this video in 2015. 2015, almost 4 years ago. Actually, it's about 4 years ago because we just got into this year. I'm going on 5 years now. Same stuff. He's not changed. And I told him that. Told him I'm a very charismatic person. No, not in the way that you think. Not in the way that you think, Chief.
And I know how to promote things, and I'm pretty good at doing that. That's why I know if I debate him.
So if you were good at promoting stuff and you were charismatic, you wouldn't have to be making these videos now, would you? Just saying. You wouldn't have to try and go through me if that charisma works so well now, would you? Just saying. You'd be on the Atheist Experience yourself. if you were as charismatic and as influential as you claim you are. I'm just saying, somewhere the rubber has to meet the road there. Somewhere.
Depending on whose channel is on, I'm going to get them 1 million views.
1 million views.
Okay, but let's continue.
1 million.
Calling me out and throwing down and you're a coward or using sexist taunts, you little sissy, come and debate me type thing. This isn't professionalism. It's not anything that I see is conducive to an argument. I'm not just talking about having a big...
Okay, so one of the things that I want to say, and by the way, how you doing up, DLC for Christ? Matt Dillahunty talks about professionalism. I know today is Sunday, and a lot of you are going to be watching the Atheist Experience. I want you to watch how Matt Dillahunty talks to Christians when they call the show today. Tell me how professional that is.
It's not a debate.
All right, so let me play the video here. By the way, how you doing, DLC?
AXP is not a debate.
Pretty good. How you doing, boss?
I'm all right. Are you enjoying the show so far?
Oh yeah, man. What I don't understand is why he won't debate you.
Well, you'll find out why, because his information is shoddy, and you'll see soon.
You must be new.
Formal debate. I'm talking about engaging with people and having conversations. Now, none of us are going to be perfect, and I'm going to do my best to give some tips, including the tips that I frequently fail at.
Now, here is going to be an interesting part. I've not watched this video, folks. By the way, I've not. DLC. I don't know who this guy is. He looks like he reminds me of Bubble Bass from SpongeBob. If you have kids, you know who that is. But so Matt frequently talks about his personal failings when it comes to discussing things with people. He understands people's issues where it's like, you know what, Matt, you hung up on that dude kind of prematurely. You kind of got a little bit too excited, a little bit too quickly. You know what? You slow it down. Matt, I'm telling you guys, again, from personal experience, Matt knows. He has no illusions about that at all. And as a matter, when I was on with him, Matt got pissed at the one dude who said, "Don't cuss at me." I was about to tell him to fuck off, bitch. But again, my first appearance, I'm trying to make a good impression, trying to stay reserved. Next time when I get on there, I'm letting people have it. So Matt got so pissed at the dude, he missed the little thing, the little button to hang up on people. He missed that motherfucker. He hit it so hard it moved. And I was trying. If you actually go back and watch that one, you see me try. Like I turned my head because I'm trying not to laugh in the mic because it was so funny because I watched him miss it. So he knows. That's why he has co-hosts to kind of even him out. If you don't know, that's kind of what he looks for. Is somebody, because he doesn't want somebody with that same big dick energy. He wants somebody to help balance him out. Because that's what gives a kind of a more balanced approach. All right. So behind the scenes, tips and tricks, trade secrets, all that good shit. So Matt's aware. He ain't perfect. Matt's aware that he got stuff to work on. Right. But he is receptive to the advice that he receives. He is, again, under no illusions about his own behavior. I want you guys to listen to Matt say, here's what we need to strive for. And I want you to watch that motherfucker, watch that motherfucker right there deny it. He doesn't have anything to work on. He does not exemplify exactly what's wrong in conversations at all. Again, I told Gman this many a times. He doesn't present himself as somebody who actually wants to have a discussion. He's approaching it like a WWE I quit match. And that's not something that people want to deal with at all. At all. At all. The old parody of Gman on Matt's imaginary rivalry. I might do a parody one of these days. Maybe we'll see. I might do it. I might do something fun with Matt later. We'll see. But anyway,
when having these conversations, it's difficult.
Matt's giving him tips. If you want to engage me, here's how you do it. He should be going. Let me remember this. Let me get it up there. My eyes open, mouth shut, ears open.
To not get frustrated. It's difficult to not make mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. But I explained to Gman that he doesn't need to debate me. He has his own voice. He has his own channel. If he thinks I've said something that's wrong, he could.
That is why I said that there are two ways I can go about beating him. I can debate him, or I can just make my videos and prove to people that I broke him. And it's as simple as that. And now that the atheists heard it for themselves, hopefully they'll stop listening to Dragnut and believe that the man's a liar. Anyway, let's continue.
What does that got to do with me?
simply put up a clip of it, explain in detail why it's wrong, and if he has a different view or he wants to give his take, he can produce a video that gives his take. And I told him,
this is really
we don't
low.
have to actually have a debate. If you put together that video and it's good enough, who knows, I might even respond. Well, the video that he put together, and the topic is slavery. The video wasn't really good enough to warrant a response in the sense that he made good points and those need to be addressed. But it was an example of the sort of mental gymnastics that some people can go through in order to make excuses for their religious views. So I'm going to go ahead and address his points and talk a little bit about.
Oh, and by the way, if you're an atheist and you're watching this, please go subscribe to Matt Dillahunty, because people are going to say I'm hating this man. Please go to subscribe to Matt Dillahunty. I think 179,000 is nowhere near. He needs more subscribers than that, so that you guys keep telling him how great he is and everything and whatnot. Instead of you guys can go there and say, listen, debate G-Man. Please shut him up. Debate G-Man.
Please, this man is yelling to himself and one other in an internet cafe. Please, Matt, please, would you please, oblige his request, because he is yelling to the nearby people in the internet cafe and they can't take it anymore. Please, Overlord Matt, Mr. Baldylocks, Lord Baldylocks, Darth Bald, help. Answer my atheist prayer and please oblige his request. Ramen. Okay, there we go. Did everybody do it too? Did it work? Let's see. Nope, no text message from him. Didn't work.
Probably shouldn't engage.
I don't know who this DLC guy is. I just see a new face. I'm like, yeah, it's another G-Man dick sucker.
It's not like it's going to change the mind of the person that you're actually talking to during the course of a single conversation. And that one of the best things to do is to have an audience so that people can see.
Can the other guy even hear this?
The arguments presented from both sides. Which one of these people is making more sense? Which one of them is being more reasonable? And then trying to make up their own mind after that. In G-Man's case, his views are very confused. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I want to point out that
they're confusing to a non-believer.
Represents
what happened?
I said, he said that your views are very confusing. Well, they are to a non-believer.
Exactly.
Okay, so I love when people make comments like that. How? My position on a topic does not preclude me from understanding it, and I'm glad Bubble Bass there has chimed in and offered his 2 fucking cents. I can disagree with, let's say, me and Doc Savage, right? I say, well, Doc Savage, there is a particular peptide chain, right? And I don't think that this peptide chain contains mostly arginine, okay? He and I can disagree on that topic, right? But that doesn't mean that because Doc Savage disagrees with me, that he doesn't understand what I'm talking about. Does that make sense, folks? If I have a disagreement with Sam the Scientist on whether or not you should always use Tony Chachere's seasoning when you are making Cajun food, that doesn't mean that he doesn't understand the purpose of Tony Chachere's or what's in it. That means we have a disagreement. That does not preclude him from understanding all the facets of what I'm talking about there. This is where conversation break down. And this what Bubble Bass offered is derision. He's not offering a retort. He's not offering a response. You're not adding anything to this discussion, right? If he would have elucidated what he was trying to say, just maybe a little bit more, just use that to say, you know what? It's my experience that non-believers typically don't understand this topic, and it's because they approach it from this angle, or it appears as though they don't understand because they approach from this angle. You know, I might be more in tune with what he's saying. I think that would be better. But I just honestly, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. But let's see. I'm going to give Bubble Bass a little bit more time.
Exactly.
Orthodox Christianity. Or
Maybe
any
he's just not a
popular
Gman dick
version
sucker.
Of Christianity, he uses some of the same.
We need more
apologies,
thinkers, less dick suckers.
but
Well,
he
actually, no,
also
we need more
goes
dick suckers
quite a
too.
bit
So
further,
they're not
as
mutually
we'll
exclusive.
See from some of the clips, and I don't want anyone to think, oh, Matt intentionally went out and found this guy who doesn't represent anybody and is trying to prop him up as if he represents Christianity.
Well, I represent my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm an ambassador for Christ, and a lot of Christians like the way I'm dealing with Matt Dillahunty. A lot of them.
Okay, and you're gonna name the same people who like the fact that you threatened me and my wife. And for those of you who are new, yes, he has threatened me and my wife. It's always interesting when he defers to the same group of 5 or 6 people. That's cool. I can literally find 5 or 6 people in this chat right now that will agree that I should go and piss on his front door. I'm pretty sure I can find more than 5. Because you found a handful of people that agree with you doesn't actually mean that you're right. He still has not figured that out. That doesn't mean anything at all. Sister Cherry doesn't care. Veckel doesn't actually care. As long as you're doing something that they think that might actually do something, they don't care. They don't actually care about results. They don't actually care about evidence. None of them think. And yes, I'm putting them on the spot. None of y'all actually think. But if you're part of the G-Man troop, whatever, G-Man support squad, have at it. Have at it. I offer you my best wishes, and maybe one day you will find it within your heart to pull your head out of his ass. Because you enabling this type of behavior, I don't think it's going to actually lead to anything. Because think about this for a second. You'll donate the plane. Of course you will. I know some of y'all terrible people. No. Think about this for a second. Think about this. If what G-Man is doing, and I want this to kind of circumspect, folks. If the people who are supporting G-Man here, or at least as far as he claims, if they're supporting him in his tirade against, Matt Dillahunty, trying to encourage this debate, whatever, him saving money for this debate and not putting that money towards something, I don't know, that might help his ass, like rent. And that's not really coming to fruition. You're doing your buddy, your brother in Christ here a disservice. G-Man doesn't have a door. You can pee in his box. Oh, Ted, you're a terrible person. But you're right. If I was in the G-Man Enabler Club...
I stole $3,000.
Oh, God. Jeremy Page says you should piss in his mouth. Y'all are nasty. I shouldn't even say... Y'all just fucking nasty. If you're part of the G-Man Enabler Club, why not tell him, hey, how about you take that money and you use that to help yourself? If you got the money. I personally don't think he actually has the money. But let's pretend he has the money. Let's pretend he's not destitute. Why are you trying to goad someone into a debate that they clearly don't want to participate in? What is that actually going to do? Okay, you have it in your mind that this guy is the pinnacle of online atheism. If you somehow get one up on him, you might be able to shave off a few non-believers and convince them that what you're doing works. Possibly. That might happen. But if it hasn't happened in the past, with better apologists, what makes you think that you have a chance? Oh, but if some of you may be thinking that, G-Man does not recognize that gap in skill. I talked about that in the last video. He doesn't actually understand that. That's hero worship. He doesn't do hero worship. He is just as good as William Lane Craig and Ken Ham and all these other cats. He's just on a different platform, that's all. So, if G-Man is doing what needs to be done and it's actually working, true empiricism, why does he have to go through me to try and get to Matt? I want you to take as long as you need to think about that. I want you to take a good, solid 5 minutes. I mean a solid 5 minutes, and sit down and use all 6 brain cells that some of you guys got together. True, Veckel, Sister Cherry. Think about that. Think about that. If what he's doing is effective, why does he need to go through me? Because at that point, he's made me a gatekeeper. And so it's up to me whether to oblige his request or not. That's not to say that Matt is going to accept it or deny it or anything. We're not even at that. We're not even that far yet. We're not even at that part yet. That's part 2. Why does he have to go through me? Why did he even make that attempt? Have a whole open hangout. Think about that. If you think this is really helping, why did he feel the need to reach out to me? Because you really got to think about something. That shows you a certain level of desperation like none other. This is the same guy who started #BanDragNot. You see how that worked out. Didn't work out too well, did it? Nope. No, it did not. And that's why I'm naming names, because some of y'all participated in that too, which I thought was funny. I thought was hilarious. You can't cancel me. I've been a pariah my entire life. Nice try. I know you gotta look up that word now. But this is sad. Absolutely sad.
So I just want to get that out there.
That's not the case. I'm responding to a single claim. I'm not actually going to be including a link to his channel in this video, and some of you are already familiar with him. Others of you will get more than enough over the course of this discussion. But he made a video specifically asking people to not go and donate and support this Patreon project. And so I think it's only fair.
The reason why I said that is because people give you this money for these Patreon projects so that you can teach them how to debate, and so that you can debate people, not run from debates.
So yes, I will openly right here. I don't know how many folks are watching now. Go and support atheist debates. The more that you guys support that, the more the people like myself get to go, and I get to sit on Matt's couch and eat Cheetos. So go and support it if you want to learn how to debate. And Matt and I actually discussed that. And so what I'm thinking about doing, is coming from a different perspective, because Matt honed his debate skills actually debating some of these bigger name folks, you know, William Lane Craig and Matt Slick and some of these other folks, right? Him actually in real time learning a lot of this stuff, spending time actually reading books and shit like that. The way that I came up, cutting teeth in the Nadia hangouts, 24-hour revolving hangouts, and just engaging with people live. So we come from different areas, right? And I think maybe he and I have a sit down and we talk about our experiences and what we've learned over the years. And I think folks might enjoy that, because he is not actually involved in all of this stuff at all. He is absolutely removed from it. I'm not involved in some of the big events like with the Dinesh D'Souza debate that he has coming up. I believe either later this month or next month. I want to say it's later this month, if I'm not mistaken, over in New York, right? That's some big time shit. So, Craig, I thought he did debate Craig. I could have sworn. I might be wrong about that, but I could have sworn they did debate. I might have him confused with somebody else.
You know, and that's what he's doing. He's running from debate. So, of course, he got to tell people not to give.
I think it'd be good to see. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But Matt has to gain.
You think that'd be pretty... Okay, Bubble Bass. So what exactly do you think they would debate over? Okay, well, we got the topic, slavery. Whether slavery is moral. Cool. Concerning the Bible. Awesome. Why would Matt be obliged to do that? What would Matt actually get out of that? Because I'm trying to understand how that would actually work out. Okay. Actually, okay. Maybe they didn't debate. Patiently debate with. Oh, William Lake wannabe. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You don't debate people with a degree. That's right. That's right. That's right.
The courage to do it though first.
Oh yeah.
That in response, I don't actually provide a link to his channel, but you can find it if you really want to.
I stand corrected. Thank you.
He has a tagline for his channel.
So with that being said, guys, read your Bible and do what it says.
So read your Bible and do what it says. I mean, that's the way I was raised. And I have read the Bible many times, and I've taught the Bible both as a Christian and as an atheist.
I doubt that. I doubt that, because if he can't understand slavery in the Old Testament, man, I doubt that he's even read it.
All right. Well, let me play the video here again.
And the one thing that keeps coming back to me is that, having read it, I understand that we probably shouldn't do what it says in a number of different situations. One of my go-to arguments for addressing the Bible and its
I can barely hear Matt.
characterization as the good book is to talk about the Bible and slavery, because the Bible explicitly and clearly endorses slavery.
And the atheist community endorses this too. It's called the prison system. You know, you don't have any autonomy in prison. You don't have any autonomy in prison. And they support it. And they're like, oh, but it's the best prison system in the world.
Okay, a few things. The reference to slavery being used as a form of in economics, we'll say that, in economics and wartime is what people are opposed to, right? Because if we're going to talk about it in context, taking someone as a prisoner of war, the form of slavery, taking someone and using them as a beast of burden effectively to pay off a debt, that is also a form of slavery. We mentioned chattel slavery. The prison system now is different, where you will have someone's autonomy taken away upon them actually violating the laws of the land. I was going to say that backwards. So they're not the same thing, because Gman himself even talks about the supposed economic advantages of having a slave, which I would love the economists to kind of weigh in on that, because if I'm not mistaken, there were actually economists that spoke about the breakdown of societies in reference to the proportion of slaves versus people who are contributing to the economy. That's from what I understand. There was some type of, and again, this is not my area. I'm going based on my recollection of hearing somebody talk about it, that you have a large population or subpopulation, I should say, because they were second-class citizens, that aren't contributing to the economy. They're producing things. They are producing goods, we'll say that, and they're providing services, but they're not helping currency circulate and that sort of thing. So where you have that gap, that's what causes things to go out of flux. That's my rough understanding of why slavery isn't really tenable as far as economics. But again, feel free to correct me on that. But when we're talking about slavery in the context of the prison system, again, we're arguing apples and oranges. Apples and oranges.
No, it's not, because they mistreat people in there, literally.
And I'm not aware of any atheists to go, yeah, our prison system's great. No. Most of the atheists that I know actually have huge complaints, and I've mentioned this in my last video. I'm not sure where Gman gets any of this from. The majority of the people that I know would love for us to change our prison systems dramatically, especially for-profit prisons, especially school-to-prison pipeline. Our whole prison industrialized complex thing, whatever, insert your label here, is an issue. If we're not reducing the recidivism, right? That's something that's a huge issue that I've heard people talk about. I would love to know where Gman gets any of this shit from, because, they say it's the best prison system in the world. Who is saying that? Who is saying that? Who is actually saying that?
Get your behind whip just for looking at a guard the wrong way, and look at what they did to them at Alcatraz. That's not a way to treat a human being. Come on now.
Yes, absolute having injustices in prison. Absolutely,
no
it does happen.
Christians who will immediately object, and there's a plethora
And one more little important topic. One more point that I want to bring up, DLC for Christ. He believes he's an animal. They believe in the theory of evolution, right?
It's
so
an
they support
equivocation.
zoos too. So
that means I'm related to my 3 dogs?
Yes, you are
according
related
to them. That's true, yeah. and you're an animal yourself, and animals can't enslave other animals. You should have seen what I did to that poor boy, Godless Engineer and Kyle on the Non Sequitur show. It was hilarious what I did to those guys with that topic. But anyway, let's continue.
That are presented to try to make the Bible seem less immoral on the issue of slavery. Gman presents some of those issues, but he also goes, I think, several steps too far, even for many people who would engage in these sorts of apologetics. So, what exactly is his take on slavery in the Bible?
Where do I stand on slavery? Obviously, Matt Dillahunty believes that it's immoral. He believes that there's this clause in Scripture that makes a person be somebody's slave for their entire life. I believe it's in Exodus chapter 21, in what he's talking about. But first and foremost, I want to let all of you know, especially you, Matt Dillahunty, that I believe that slavery is a principle.
I have to turn up on my end. I can barely hear him.
In other words, as a whole
I
in
stole
Scripture,
$3,000.
this is what the Bible teaches about slavery. Okay?
Best prison system is
Whoever
Scandinavian.
you obey
I have to look into that.
become your master.
And if this man actually taught the Bible the way he claimed he did, he would understand that. I wouldn't have to take time out to explain something that to him. You understand what I'm saying? So there were people that called Jesus master. You understand? It's in the Mosaic law saying that God had no issue with indentured servants and with people owning people from other nations. And when this happened, it was bound to the Mosaic law. He doesn't want to talk about these things, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because wasn't it part of the law back then that if you owed somebody and you couldn't repay them in any other way, you had to go into, be a slave to them, right? For 7 years or something like that.
Yeah, it existed for a few different reasons. One of them was for to pay back your debts. If you couldn't take care of your family, you can actually let somebody own you and they'll take care of you, but you have to work and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was also set up as a punishment as well. So he don't want to talk about that, but let's hear what he has to say, because they have a way of twisting words and making us say things we don't say. So.
Whatever you obey will be.
And this is actually an older video I did, so he didn't respond to like the entire thing. He picked parts of the video he wanted.
That's like Google Hangouts, right?
Yeah. That's back in the days of G+.
Yeah, there were laws on how to treat slaves in the U.S. That is true. But he draws a distinction between indentured servitude and chattel slavery, which fair, but having laws doesn't mean that that's still not a human rights violation, and he doesn't seem to get that.
That's actually not my metaphor. That's Christ and the apostles who said that. It says whatever you obey, whatever you surrender your vessels to, will be your master. Jesus said that that a person can't have two masters. You're going to obey the one and you're going to reject the other. It's either going to be God or it's going to be mammon. We are all subjected to something. You understand what I'm saying? And he doesn't get that. And these atheists swear I'm the only person on YouTube saying these things.
What?
No,
I don't think you're on
so let me play the
at
video.
all. I know no, you're not.
About slavery?
So what we see in Scripture is we see a combination of indentured servitude, and then we do see Israel going out to these other nations and supposedly enslaving people from these other nations. I can get into that. I have no problem with it, because one of the things that I don't think Matt Dillahunty understands is, even though
y'all gonna have to turn this up because it's low.
They're still bound to the law of Moses.
Oh, so there is a bit more in the Bible than your little metaphor. And what's this about them being under the law of Moses? I think you might have your timeline a little confused, because Moses was the figure that supposedly freed the Israelites from slavery. And after they were freed and they got out of the mountain, right? That's when the law of Moses comes into existence. Your idea that somehow these slaves were...
Okay. All right. So in Exodus, what is it? Exodus chapter 1 and 2, it talks about how Pharaoh, how the new Pharaoh didn't know the old Pharaoh, and saw the Israelites growing in number, and then decided
volume is short.
To enslave the Israelites because he was scared that they would grow in number. That kind of slavery is immoral, what he did, because he went to take the babies and throw them into the Nile River. Atheists don't like talking about that. They never talk about that. Okay? When we get to the actual Mosaic law, when the Israelites are given instructions on what to do and what not to do, it benefits the slave, it benefits the owner, and it brings glory to God. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He really don't.
Not sure how
Yeah, he
beating
doesn't.
benefits a slave, but
So
okay.
let me play the video.
We're under the law of Moses is silly because the story of the Exodus includes the story of the birth of Moses and how Moses freed the slaves, and then the law of Moses comes into place later. But the law of Moses is where we find the explicit and clear endorsements of slavery. I've got verses and everything because you suggested that we read the Bible. I'm a fan of that, actually. Exodus 21 begins to describe the law with regard to Hebrew servants, or actually male Hebrew servants, because women are a completely separate category in the Bible, especially women slaves.
So this is the mistake I think a lot of atheists make, and DLC for Christ, I'm sure you've seen this too. A lot of these people make mistakes talking about this topic because they don't talk about, number one, because Matt likes to compare America to Israel, right? They don't talk about the society that existed back then. He doesn't talk about how these rules supported the slave, supported the owner, and supported the society that they were in. He doesn't talk about that. You know what I mean? But I can compare everything that he's going to talk about right now with the society that we're living in right now, and the atheist community don't have any problem with it whatsoever. You know what I mean? So anyway, let me continue, because I want you to listen to this straw man that he's about to put together.
But we'll get to that in a little bit. And Leviticus 25 expands the law on slavery to make a clear distinction between Hebrew servants, or your indentured servitude that you'd like to appeal to, and male slaves. But this indentured servitude argument is horrible for two reasons. It's simply a bad apologetic. First of all, it's not true. It is not true that the Bible only advocates for indentured servitude.
I have now DLC for Christ. This is the straw man's begins, okay?
All right, this is where the rubber meets the road, folks. He is live. Of course he's live. Of course he is. Because Gman has done a very, 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 very good. I can't even say that. He has painstakingly drawn the distinction between the transatlantic slave. Well, he calls it the transatlantic slave trade. It's chattel slavery. That's what it's actually called. Chattel slavery versus indentured servitude, right? And there is a difference. And so what the fuck is he talking about now? God isn't done with you, Shanny. 2019 was just beginning. Uh-oh. This ain't good. So I'll tell you what, folks. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and stop it in a little bit here. We'll listen to a bit of this because G-Man has drawn this distinction, and there is a distinction to be made. But if people are saying that, these forms of slavery are immoral, then whether it be indentured servitude or chattel, they both fall in that category. So it is what it is. But it looks like something about the DA finding her arrest unlawful. I don't know about that. G-Man's understanding of the law is akin to his understanding of the Bible. It ain't none. So, I'm sorry, you don't get to admit to, physically harming your significant other and then not go to jail. That's not how that works. But it doesn't matter what people's opinions are. That's just the law.
I have a 4-part series on my YouTube channel where not only do I go into what the transatlantic slave trade is, I go into the slavery that they don't talk about that exists in the book of Exodus, but then I go into what the individual laws say about men, women, and other nations. He just saw this one video here, and I remember specifically responding to this video when he first did this a long time ago. But I pointed out all of those passages. They swear we're scared to talk about these things, and I'm not. You got anything that you want to say, DLC for Christ?
Yeah, give me a second.
All right, I'm gonna play the video.
It does advocate for both indentured servitude and slavery. And the second reason that it's bad is because indentured servitude is probably also immoral. It's not like there's a good system in place to protect these people who are in debt slavery. It's a very problematic system. It is prone to exploitation. And the rules that are in place in the Bible, even if indentured servitude wasn't already a problem, don't make any sense. You want to plot a land?
Here's my problem. Dragnet is always talking about debating people that are your equals, right? Yeah. Matt Dillahunty is clearly not the equal of Christians on this topic. He just sit there and said
Christians. So, no. You notice that he references the quote that I used from John Henrik Clarke. I debate my equals, all others I teach. The further context into that particular quote's even funny, but you get the notion, right? And when you see a debate between two scholars on a topic, they're two scholars on a topic. You have somebody who has a position on a topic who's had, comparable education, formal or otherwise, mind you, to the other person, and they disagree on some point. They have a central thesis, and they enumerate the points that kind of support it, evidence, all that good stuff, and then they exchange it, and then they'll come before a crowd and kind of present that. That's how debate roughly is supposed to happen. When I have to explain the basics of what the topic is to my interlocutor, it's no longer a debate. You shouldn't have to do that at any point in time. You shouldn't disagree on the foundations of what you're talking about, right? You disagree on the finer points, certain nuances, the context in which this thing is to be understood. Huge difference here. Disagreeing with someone isn't the same thing as that person not having comparable education or understanding as you. And that's something he still does not understand. So he can't really bridge that gap. And Bubble Bass over there just kind of co-signing whatever he says. He has no idea how much Matt knows about this topic. He has no idea. Just as a funny point, there was a time, for those of you who are kind of new here, that Gman would routinely defer to kind of my quote there that I used from John Henrik Clarke in his own rejection from debates. There was a Bubble Bass from SpongeBob. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. But it's interesting because what someone ended up doing, and this I have to thank Gus Belanger for this. He said, "Well, G-Man, you claim to know the Bible really well. So what's in the book of Titus?" G-Man avoided that question, and then we found out G-Man really hadn't actually read the entire Bible. Like, he likes to tell people that he hasn't. And he finally figured out after weeks of avoiding people asking him that question, because once Gus did it, and we found out, I'm going to be on Swool Tour later today, we found out that he had no idea. He hadn't read it. And so this is where G-Man lying starts coming in, right? After a while, he finally figures out what's in the book of Titus, after myself and everybody else who talks to G-Man, "Hey G-Man, what's in the book of Titus? You kept saying that J.D. Kane doesn't understand the Bible. I haven't read the Bible." Fine, absolutely. I've not sat through and read the Bible from cover to cover. I'm probably not going to for a while. So if that's something that you're going to use as a cudgel in conversations, then how much do you actually know about the Bible? Like, have you actually read it? Well, what is the book of Titus about? And again, folks, he avoided it like the plague because he didn't know. I mean, just an overview, just an overview of what's in it, not specific chapter verse. No, just an overview. No idea. Yeah, Swool Tour is Star Wars: The Old Republic. It's an online game. I'll be streaming it on Twitch later. I think some of us are playing that and 7 Days to Die on Tatted server. So I have no idea. It's just stuff. So there we go. The Book of Titties. That's my favorite book. So this is Bubble Bass, by the way. This is why I call this guy Bubble Bass. His face. I'm not. Okay, I can't find it. Anyway, that's who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna play him a little bit, and then we'll head out.
Servitude wasn't good, and it isn't necessarily good. Then, right? Okay. So you're telling me that it is immoral if a man can't take care of his family to allow himself to be ruled over someone as long as he's being provided for. What's so immoral about that?
And he said earlier also that you had bad apologetics. If that is true, why won't he debate you? What is he afraid of?
I would be so easy if I had bad apologetics. Matt Flick and those guys would say I did a terrible job. If I debate Matt Dillahunty on this topic, not only will they say I did a good job, but they're going to advocate for me debating him again. I know what they're going to say. And I think these atheists know it too. That's why none of them clicked on the link to come in here.
Yep.
So
that's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Want a cow? Is that 6 years? What if I want 2 cows? Is that 6 years? Is it 12 years? Is it 6 years? I don't understand. This is
Okay. So earlier I talked about how they have the Mosaic Law, and by the way, if you're watching this and you don't know what that is, you can literally download all 613 of them, or 19 of them, or whatever you want to do. The point of the matter is, you can read the laws, and all of the laws are about treating your neighbor right, administering justice, and putting God first. That's what that's all about. You know what I mean? He doesn't even know what the law says. If I debated him, I would make sure I put all 613 right in front of me. If I debated him, and when the Q&A come, destroy him, because he said there's no way to protect them, there's no way to benefit them. My God, not going to eat this guy alive on this topic. You know. But anyway, let's continue to listen to more.
LeBron
of this
James
nonsense,
should
I'm not going to play the whole
one-on-one
video
with me. I can beat him.
because I only got a certain amount of time I can be here today. But I just want people to hear how bad some of these arguments are.
There's one thing. If you go and sell yourself into servitude, you serve for 6 years. Shouldn't it matter what you're trying to get out of it? None of this makes any sense.
All of that is in the law, Matt. As a matter of fact, Matt, you should actually go read it, because it talks about how gifts are going to be given to you when you leave. Like the very fact that I got to explain this to him shows he doesn't even know what the Bible says about this topic. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm desperate to debate him. He should be desperate to debate me on this, because the man needs an education on what the Bible says about this stuff.
Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure Matt can find someone to debate on this topic that isn't as desperate as you. If Matt really wanted to, I'm pretty sure he has a whole host of people that he can pull from that aren't as erratic and disrespectful and as idiotic as you. I'm just going to be honest with you. Like that, there are lots of people who are trying to pine for his attention. A lot of people are pining for his attention at all times. And I got it. So why not just to me, this is me. Why not pick the best of those people? Why not pick someone who is not only, I'm going to use this, agreeable, pick someone that is going to present a challenge, and it's not a competition, right? It is an exchange between two individuals who have mutual respect for one another. It's not someone who's trying to clout chase, and that's what this is. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm going to end it here. This is a clout chase from Gman, because he needs affirmation. He needs attention. He needs that recognition. That's exactly what this is a clout chase. That's why he's mentioning me in all this, because he's upset now. Because he said, yes, my channel's growing, so what? Like, I would rather people go subscribe to the Magic Sandwich Show. Go and subscribe to the No, don't share my shit. Go subscribe to the Magic Sandwich Show. That's where real conversations happen. Not here. This is stupid. That's what G-Man's upset about. He sees it. That's all of a sudden why he's now wanting to come talk to me. He's wanting to deal with Matt, because he sees the upward momentum. He doesn't like the numbers he's getting. That's why he spent I don't know how many minutes talking about the views. His whole deal here. I find this video. I know people want this because look at the views. Well, it's not about the views. Someone please link the Magic Sandwich Show. We got a episode this Thursday with Dr. Alex Malpass. If y'all can, if you watched where he was strolling through the videos, Matt has a few conversations with Alex Malpass. PhD in philosophies. The man's a logician. He's a logic magician, okay? Logic magician. So, yeah, this is just for entertainment. This is just me. I find this entertaining. But on Magic Sandwich Show, we actually have real conversations. We sit down and we discuss. You know, if we want to discuss this, you know, that's we can find some folks. I think Converse Contender is coming on this Thursday. I might be bringing a friend. I have to double check the email because I kind of read them when I'm sleeping. But I know that seems weird, but I read them half asleep. We got Kenny Rhodes is coming. Like I said, Dr. Alex Malpass. They're going to be discussing. JD Kane's going to be hosting that one, by the way. The Kalam cosmological argument and the Grim Reaper's paradox. Some fun shit. No, the Magic Sandwich Show does not have a dedicated Discord. Not sure if we really want to do all that. We take this baby steps. So on that note, folks, I think I'll play you out. Everyone seems to love the audacity. Even G-Man loves the audacity. Everyone loves the audacity. So you all will have the audacity on the way out. Yeah, frustrated in due time, man. Yeah, whenever you feel better, man. Whenever you feel better, ain't no rush. So, yes, I will have the audacity. Yeah, I knew someone was gonna say it. Of course, Kiefer wants the audacity. I don't know how to maintain or run any type of Discord, and I got enough Discord with my Discord and all that nonsense. So, I'll see. I'll talk to the guys. So, right now we're trying to just focus on getting our lineup again, 2020, and having some good conversations. We got ideas for conversations, but just finding people in a time. Well, we actually have to just find the time. Everyone's schedule's all, people are busy. People don't have time to sit around and eat lobster rolls all day. So, anyway, with Shanny's channel, somebody can post it for you, Molecular. I think, well, actually, it just type in Shanny for Christ. If you want a good example of certain histrionic disorders, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I will stump a mud hole in you too. All right, later, folks.
The announcement is this. I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout next Friday. Not today, but next Friday. And that particular Google Hangout will be focused on primarily one thing. I'm asking everyone to bring their own personal rap to this particular Google Hangout.
I'm going to expose myself on YouTube. I'm going to make a YouTube video embarrassing myself.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I got to tell you about the fabulous, most groovy
Gman. Gman. You know you're breaking the law right now. I will stomp a mud hole in you, sir.
I am not playing, Dragnet.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big in this that I mean.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Gman.
You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity.
My name is Gman.
You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I stole $3,000. You got the audacity. You got the audacity. Because you don't got no evidence.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
So big in this that I mean.
My name is Gman. My name is Gman.
You can't beat me in fighting. You can't beat me in chemistry. You can't beat me in biology. You can't even walk better than me. You can't outrun me. Dude, you can't even out-talk me. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey. Come to Jersey City.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another